Skillet cooking hamburgers demonstration. Make sure you're tying your hair back so that you don't have any hair loose in your face that might get in the way of your cooking, and make sure you put an apron on to protect all of your clothes. Don't forget to gather all your materials and supplies before you get started so that you'll have everything ready when you need it. Make sure you wash your hands at the beginning and can wash them as needed throughout the cooking procedure so that you can prevent the spread of bacteria. Now fine dice the onion just like you practiced before. If you find that when you get to the end of the fine dicing your onion and you think your pieces aren't small enough, then you can go right ahead and do a rough chop all over the fine dice onion to make it even smaller. Remember to clean up as you go. You don't want a big mess left in the end. When you have all your materials ready and you've got all your ingredients, you can mix them together in your mixing bowl. Being careful again when you're mixing the hamburger not to overmix it or overwork it, or your hamburger is going to get very tough and dry. Just be gentle when you're mixing it, and the same for when you're making your patties. Mix it very gently. Make sure that all your seasoning is mixed together, but don't overwork the meat. When you're making your patties, make sure you're making your patties flat, and make sure you're making them just slightly larger than the bun that you're going to be using. Remember, you can make them flat, but you can also put your thumbs in the center to make a little indent or a little divot in them, just so that when they cook, when they puff up, that they don't turn into more of a round baseball type shape. You want to keep your burgers nice and flat, or even put a little indent in the center with your thumb. In the end, you should have 4 equally shaped burgers that are about 3/4 of an inch thick. So they should be flat, not too thick, about 3/4 of an inch, and also not too thin. Preheat your pan by putting it on your stove and turn your stove on. I turn mine about 1/3 of the way up, not quite halfway on my stove do I turn the dial, and then I let it heat up for about 3 minutes. You can add oil to your pan at this point if you are planning on using it. You can use a nonstick spray here as well, as long as you're not using a nonstick pan. Remember, don't use the nonstick spray with a nonstick pan, and the oil is optional if you are using a nonstick pan. And you'll know it's hot if you can take a little bit of water and splash it on the pan, and if you hear it sizzle. Okay, so if you splash the water and you should hear it sizzle a little bit, then you'll know it's done. And then you can put your burgers on. When you put your burgers on, you should also hear that sizzle when you put it there. If you don't, then your pan isn't hot enough and you're not going to get that nice crispy brown outer coating on your burger. If your burger is about 3/4 of an inch thick, then I tend to put it on for about 5 minutes per side. Just leave your burger there, and once it's been 5 minutes, then you can go on and you can flip your burger to the other side. Now, if your kitchen was starting to smoke or your pan was too hot, you were going to have to turn that down at some point. But 5 minutes, use that as a rough estimate of how long it should take per side if your burger is 3/4 of an inch. You should see a nice golden coating on your burger when you're finished, when it's flipped. To test the internal temperature of your hamburger, because that's the really only accurate way to be able to tell whether your burger is done, you're going to need an internal thermometer. So you're going to take your thermometer and put it right in the center of the burger. And if the thermometer reads 71 degrees, then you know your burger is cooked. If it hasn't reached 71 degrees, then you can still put your burger back on the frying pan, and you can let it sit for another minute or 2 on each side and test it again to see if it can be 71 degrees inside. Once your burger's done, you're going to want to cover it with tin foil and let it sit for a few minutes before you serve it. That'll let the juices settle and ensure you have a nice juicy burger that won't have the juices running everywhere. Don't forget to take a picture of your completed burger, 2 of them, one with it cut open so I can see the inside, and the other one not cut open so I can see the nice crust on the outside. Make sure you put your name and the title of the lab in the picture as well. When you're all finished, make sure that you wash up all of your dishes, all of your countertops in nice hot soapy water. Remember to leave your knives out last. You don't want to be putting knives into a sink with soapy water where you can't see them, and you'll leave yourself the potential of getting cut. Don't forget to send in a picture of your pan fried or your broiled burgers with a picture with your name in the picture. There's a self-evaluation for your lab to be done as well and handed in. And there's also the theory worksheet for the lab that will need to be handed in as well. So there's those three things that go all with this skill at cooking your pan frying or pan broiling burgers.